What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new 2004 RM250 build and giveaway episode. If you're new, my name is Charles. I own mXrevival and mXrevival.com, and I build bikes that you can win with a bunch of amazing people. Now, we've got a lot to cover today, such as, first of all, we've got to pick a brand new winner. mXrevival Monthly, guys, you know what I'm talking about. For the month of April, I was giving away free coatings. Coatings as in coated brakes, coated engine cases, just something you need coated. So that's our lucky winner for the month of April. We're gonna find out who that was in just a second. And I've got, of course, a brand new giveaway on deck for you as well. So we're gonna find out what the new giveaway is, who the new winner is. We're also going to vapor blast this absolutely disgusting exhaust valve of yours. I'm gonna show you a point where it had actually failed and show you what kind of damage actually happened inside the exhaust valve. I'll show you the new part, thank God. I could even get one. This is a 2004 RM250. They're not all that available anymore, these parts. So that will be our action task for today's video. And as always, I like to kick these off with some candy, show you guys some of the cool things that have come back for your bike, some of the aftermarket parts or things that are gonna make it even cooler for you to win. So we're gonna do that as well. Now, before we jump into picking our winner and some of those awesome things I just mentioned, if you're confused, you have no idea what I'm talking about, mXrevival Monthly, what is that? Hit up mxrevival.com, my website. It is a monthly membership program wherein when you spend 15 bucks a month to support the shop, thank you guys so much who have already signed up. You're also being entered into the pot or hat, whatever you like to say, to win these bikes when they're done. Now, if a bike isn't done and ready for that month's giveaway, then as you just saw, I'll be giving away a cool MX part or product. We did vapor blasting in March. We're about to find out who the April winner is, and then also the May giveaway as well, what that's gonna be. So check it out when you have some free time. Links are below. Feeling good today. So I think that's enough rambling. Let's go ahead and find out who won last month's giveaway. All right, let's go hit the desk, pick a lucky winner for these coatings, show you guys how it's done. Some of you remember. So I've got my active subscriptions here. See if I can film this at the same time. And then I download this list up here, turn it into a spreadsheet. We have monthly members, coatings giveaway up here. And then bear with me since I'm trying to mouse this thing and do it at the same time. You guys can see we had 76 subscriptions. A couple of you guys canceled, for example, or your card ran out or something. That guy's canceled. A few other people canceled. So total active is 73 right now. So we have the first line is taken up by subscription name, customer name, and your status. Already got rid of the deleted ones here. So when I say 73 active, because line 1 here is taken already, we'll see 74 on the sheet. I hope that makes sense. All right, so now I'm gonna drag all these and we're gonna copy and paste it into my little name picker doodad here. Copy. Then we'll go to the old rando name picker. We will paste. And then let's see, everyone's here. I'm out. 73. I did not grab that top line in the copy from the spreadsheet since it's not a name. And we go ahead and do a couple shuffles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And let's find out who our lucky coatings winner is here. Bang! Matt Wilcox. Awesome, dude. He's a longtime supporter. Thank you so much, Matt. You did it, bro. You won yourself some coatings. Kicks ass when someone I've known for that long. Look at all the email threads he and I have together over the years since 2021, it looks like, September 21. Actually wins something, it makes me so happy. All right, let's go check it out. So Matt, you won yourself some coatings. This is a burnt bronze, I believe it is. This is Cameron Niemela's Memorial CR over there. But as an example, dude, if you need some brakes coated, we'll handle it. Or if you want a couple little engine parts coated, we'll handle it, whatever it is you need. Here for you, man. Thanks for being here for me. Okay, we're gonna make our way over to this lovely sea of amazing components for your RM250. But before we do, catch you guys up on last episode if you missed it. We went ahead and checked out your frame, your Electron, your parts from FMF, your brand new OEM airbox, and your huge foot pegs, some of Dean's coatings on your brakes. We also built this transmission together that is now inside of a lovely vapor blasted shell. I told you guys I was going to do that on TikTok. That will be live this Friday. Friday, as in yesterday, if you're watching this video, Saturday. You can also go ahead and check out last week's video if you want to see what a cryo heat treated transmission looks like. Unbelievable. We built the transmission together. A lot of people found it very useful and helpful, so I was really excited about that. So if you want to check out how to build a transmission, see what a cryo heat transmission looks like, and watch me check in your frame, brakes, airbox, all that stuff, FMF pipe, check out last episode. I'll leave that down below for you. And now we have a slew of other things to get through today. Guys, I'm very excited to show you some of the amazing things that have come back. And of course, today's action task. That thing is disgusting. Not for long. So first up, this right here, you guys are familiar with Bolt Motorcycle Hardware Pro Packs. They don't sell this one yet. At least you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm 99.9% positive they don't. It would have the proper label and everything. I'm sort of prototyping this is the vibe I get for the RM250. Dave has always had an RM/RMZ Pro Pack, and it kind of came with stuff for both. But this one's supposed to be RM250 two-stroke specific. So like the RMZ, RM, like the combo pack, it would have the nut for the RMZ, but not the RM. This one's 100% RM two-stroke, 01 through 08. So I'll be loading this bad boy into your bike as we go along, and we'll see. I'm making notes up here what I found it to have or not have or maybe need, and I'll let Dave know and Brian down there. You guys know they take great care of me and you guys as well. So I wanted to show you that. Like I said, it was kind of a last minute pop out. I wasn't sure if I should because they don't technically make this yet, but it's cool to share some behind the scenes with you guys as well. Dave's amazing. He's like my uncle, my dad, my brother, sometimes my shrink. Really appreciate you. I know you guys are scoping that gorgeous blue cylinder head from Luke. We're going to get there in just a second, but for now, I want to pit stop at this cylinder. This is your cylinder, of course. Just got back from Power Seal USA. I use these guys for 100% of all of my cylinder replate needs. Now this is exactly how the cylinder came back. You guys can give it a quick wash with soap and water and be on your way. It has been, I believe, bead blasted. That's what it looks like to me. And they always come back in a nice, clean, usable condition. But what's really amazing is what's inside. Fresh Nikasil. You guys do not have a sleeve. Brand new cross hatching. It just looks unbelievable. They always do such an amazing job. And when these go in, if you need your studs removed from the top, for example, maybe they're frozen or stuck, or you want them to take out your exhaust valve, all this crap, because maybe you're a little nervous or something, they'll do it for you. It's only a couple extra bucks. Also, they are some of the only guys that will weld if there's a problem. This one thankfully did not need a weld, but some bikes like the earlier RM250, these exhaust bridges in here, they were very narrow, like on the 01, and so they would get hot and crack very often. Same thing with exhaust bridges. Some bikes have a bridge that goes across the inside of the cylinder there, where the exhaust exit, and those cracked, they need welded and relieved. And so they'll tell you, hey man, your cylinder's cracked, it needs a weld, we can do it. It's like 70 bucks. So they are a turnkey, all-inclusive cylinder repair shop, and they will supply a piston that's bore matched. In this case, Chris told me this thing's been around the block a few times, had a couple stampings in it. That's how you guys can tell if it's been to a plating shop before current, like for example, that FD045. That was the last go around with Power Seal. It needed a 67 millimeter piston, which is slightly overboard. So they'll let you know that sort of thing too, or send a piston back that's bore matched to your new Nikasil bore. And so you're pretty much good to go. Of course, check your ring end gap and all that stuff. But the beauty is you get some back you can use right away. Thank you guys so much for taking care of all this stuff for all these years. I really appreciate it. And the last thing I'll do to this is it will go through the Vapor Blast cabinet and look a little more like that, although I'm going to go even brighter. You guys know I like to do a 4-stage pass on the cylinders and make them look just unreal. And this is a 2-stage. I like to do like maybe a little darker shade of gray on the cases, if you will, in terms of the shine. I might need to put this camera down because we have a bunch more cool stuff to talk about real quick. Yep, I need my hands to show off this gorgeous piece of billet right here. Luke, dude, thank you for sending me yet another cylinder head for yet another awesome giveaway build. Love our friendship, love working together. If you guys haven't tried one of these yet, obviously they look amazing, but you ought to, because they have a lot of amazing features, one of which being the removable domes. So if you guys want to try a different fuel octane, or you have a provision which prohibits you from using, say, like a 91 pump gas, then Luke will have a dome for you that will complement your fuel, and then also not have your bike pinging and detonating and melting the top of your piston off and what have you. Of course, he's got a ton of different colors. We just went with, I believe we went with a pump gas variant on this dome. I'll have to double check, but really cool. The blue, you guys know this bike is sort of modeled after the 1989 vintage RM250, so I'm trying to bring some blue into here, and I will say one more thing about blue. We'll see what Weston over at RG3 Factory Suspension Shop is going to do with your suspension on that note. At any rate, this is going to look amazing. If you would like, Luke will also laser etch something custom into the sides for you, like your race number or your name, mXrevival logo, things like that. So sky's the limit, and I'm going to show you a few more cool things he just came out with. The fun never ends. Luke with all the goodies. So those heads are also going to come with all the crush washers and acorn nuts to mount it to your bike, whatever make, model it might be. And then we're going through some teething and fitment checks with this right now, but this is one of Luke's most current offerings. I have one on my RMZ 450, very, very cool. He's making gas caps, and as you can see, where's that cylinder head? They model or mimic the cylinder head. So he's got his blue, a dead-on match, and then the cap looks like a cylinder head. It's pretty badass. It even looks like kind of like a revolver. So right now on the RM250 specifically, it's the only one that's sort of having some fit check issues. Luke's going to be making some new caps, but you can also check these out if you'd like. Oh no, we're not done. Stick around. He's also come with all of the O-rings. So this small O-ring is for the dome if you were to change it out for different fuel, and then the O-rings around the outside seal off the combustion chamber from your coolant, of course, and there's 2 of each, so you get 2 per pop there. And if there's another bag like that in here, that it could only mean that there's another cylinder head in here. And we haven't talked much about your 03 CR250, but hell, we're here, so why not? This guy here is for your other giveaway bike, and we'll jump back into that video series soon, but I wanted to show it to you because it's here. This red matches the red Excel rim hoop color perfectly, and most other aftermarket reds from any other company, if you're getting like brake pedal tips or brake clevis or things like that, brake line guides. Really, really cool. Luke, thank you for getting us out, bro. I really appreciate this. Of course, the old Honda, that's a gas cap too. I'll do a fit check on that. I think we had this one ironed out already. Another note on these, been riding with the RMZ one for maybe 20 or 30 hours, and the check valve, you guys can hear that? It works very well. So I don't have fuel coming out of the overflow hose, down my steering neck, and all over the back of my RMZ fender, and then therefore all over my radiators, frame, and exhaust. So good job on the check valve, Lukey. It's working great. Now I'll go ahead and close the, we'll call it the top end section of this video out by saying that I'm going to go ahead and install your piston, cylinder, your fathead, all that stuff on TikTok. Like I said, I'm having a lot of fun, and you guys can go watch your bottom end install video over there, as well as this. At any rate, now we need to get into, well, I was going to jump into the exhaust valve, but I have more stuff to show you. Let's check out that Rekluse clutch. Dude, the fun never ends around here. There are so many cool people, companies, parts, projects going on at all times. You guys are spoiled rotten. I really sincerely hope you enter to win this bike and all the other stuff. So Rekluse clutch, before we jump into your decimated exhaust valve, which we're going to fix today. Don't worry. These clutches are unreal. I'm going to go ahead and start by saying that these fibers, the non-steel plates, they're actually manufactured by hand right down the street here in Boise. And they also stack more fibers and steels into the clutch pack than the stock unit. So these are thinner. There are some of which that are thicker that go in a certain order. I'll touch on that again in just a second. But when you can stack more fibers and steels into your clutch pack, it's going to hook up better, it's going to work better, it's going to fade less. And I've even heard some people say it translates into a sensation of more horsepower because you have less slip. I got a chance to ride the 06 RM250 build and giveaway in December. The last RM250 we did had one of these in it. Unbelievable. The thing stuck to the dirt like glue. It was probably the best clutch I've tried so far. All your steel's here, and so the next step for this system here would be to get all these fibers soaking in oil so I can do the install. Talking about that install, because I have a 100% start to finish complete overview and install video for this clutch on this exact same bike. I'll leave you guys a link below so you can check that out. I'm gonna go ahead and do this particular one for this bike on TikTok as well. Give them some more love, give them some more eyeballs. And then maybe my favorite part of this clutch system, especially for the Suzuki, you guys are familiar with the clutch baskets notching from, let me see if I can explain this. When you guys are engaging and disengaging your clutch, these plates and fibers rather are whacking the fingers in the clutch basket. And to combat that, Rekluse sends out these steel inserts So your basket gets notched because those fibers are digging into it over time, and that's sort of that sensation when you pull in your clutch and you put it in gear, it'll lurch anyways, or when you let it out, it'll try to skip and start away on you. It's because the basket has all those notches in it, and these are trying to glide across those notches they've made as the clutch is being collapsed and opened again and again. So that's where that sensation comes from. These guys right here go inside your basket in such a way that when these fibers are beating the crap out of your basket, or where they would be, now they're hitting these sacrificial steel plates. I would buy this kit for this alone, even if it had stock-like performance, because this is such a kick-ass smart idea. So anyways, I love those. And this whole dang thing is yours. What the heck? And of course, super cool looking clutch springs. They're all rainbowed out. I don't know what that coating is, but it looks really cool. And this thing did not feel particularly stiff when I got a chance to ride it in the last RM250. So all in all, just a complete clutch kit. Drop it in, go ride. Works better than stock, lasts longer than stock. If you guys want to save your basket, of course you get the steel inserts as well. Rekluse, thank you guys so much. And also, we'll be sending some more stuff for your other builds and giveaways as well. I appreciate you guys. Bloop. Make sure you guys go watch that clutch install video if you want to see that thing up close and personal, if you want to see the order of the fibers, because like I said, some are thicker and some are thinner, so they do go in a very specific way. I think you'll like that video. And now, nasty, but I'm grateful it's all here. These are getting harder to find. This is your exhaust valve. Gross. It's just what they look like after a while. The coating starts to wear off. You guys get a bunch of wear marks and grooves in it. And I'm going to show you one that's particularly destroyed right here. So this is one of the exhaust valves. You have like the main flapper valve. You guys can correct me if I blow any of this terminology, but these are sub valves, and these are opening left and right inside the cylinder and the top. While we're on that note, RM250 complete exhaust valve install, start to finish in this cylinder. Same video series as that clutch install, so I'll leave that below as well if you guys want to see one of these actually go in step by step, see how it moves and actuates. I have that video too. Anyways, where were we? This guy here, absolutely destroyed. Kind of looks like a part of the human anatomy right there, if you will. It's all grooved out and messed up, and it's not supposed to look like that. It's supposed to look more like this. So I'll show you what I think happened. Before I do, I will show you the replacement part and what it is supposed to look like. Where's my little ninja blade? Ninja. I don't know how many of these are left out there in the Suzuki OEM exhaust valve land either. So there you go, there's one with the coating on it still, and the groove is not destroyed, as you guys can see there. It's still very intact, so it looks better than the other one, but we won't be vapor blasting this one today. We're just gonna run it as is because it's perfect. So we're gonna vapor blast all this stuff, and that is just one method of cleaning. I have the option to vapor blast because we have a really gigantic, nice vapor blasting cabinet in here, as a lot of you guys know. And so that for me is the easiest way to clean these off, and then they're also going to get polished at the same time, so they should move. I don't know if they're going to move better, but they should move quite nicely, will move quite nicely through the cylinder when they're actually operating. So many little bits and pieces. Other guys have used things like oven cleaner, gasoline, I've heard kerosene, I think, I don't know, I'm not sure. I've never used any of those methods except for the oven cleaner. That works pretty good too, but the vapor blasting is going to go places that your fingers and all those chemicals just can't reach, like way down in these nooks and crannies. So having said all that, let's take this nasty pile of trash and turn it into a pile of treasure, save for you. Ugh. We can even do the spring and all the spacers, etc. I told you guys I was going to show you what I think happened to this, so I need to locate some pins that live in here real quick. Show you that, and then we'll go vapor blast this stuff, and you're not going to recognize it. Well, I'm not sure where those parts are right now. Hopefully they're not in the bottom of the ultrasonic cleaner. Just dug around for them for a second, which, on that note, the reason this stuff isn't black and oily and spoogy with pre-mix and carbon is because I did already ultrasonic clean it. So I did not mention that yet. So what happens is the sub valve goes into the cylinder here. There's a pin that drops down and it guides this sub valve right here in this track. And so there's a long one and a short one. One of them goes straight in through the side, and these cams and little wheels on the outside right on it, and this pin on the sub valve is actuating this bad boy right here. The pins were backwards. I don't even know how the last person made that fit, because one is quite a bit longer than the other. At any rate, the thing was basically staked down in place. You can see that crater here in the very end, and you can see how shallow that groove normally is. And so the pin, the long pin, was dug way down into that thing there. That's actually a great shot. And this thing couldn't even move. I remember the previous owner complaining about it running funny. One of these wasn't even opening. And so with the short pin on the wrong side, I don't know how bad this was operating or not, on one side at least. So when you guys watch that install video, you'll actually see the two different sized pins, the lengths, where they go, and why they go where they go. So that's what happened to that bad boy. And now it just goes on the wall of shame. Let's go ahead and vapor blast this stuff. So we'll get started with these guys here. You can see there's a lot of nooks and crannies. And so the vapor blasting is just so amazing to get inside of all those areas. You can see there's a pin holding those together in the center. There's another groove right there that I need to get into. And so even with brushes and the oven cleaner, it's just not going to happen for you as good as vapor blasting will. So we'll start with two pieces because I don't want to lose all those things in here and they get blown all over the place. So let's transform those together. Yeah. Fire up some water, fire up the wiper, and then I'm going to get you guys on the little iPhone stand here so you can see inside with me. All right, let's get you up here. You guys got the best seat in the house. All right, we're just running a 60 PSI. Gonna cut this stuff off. We're not gonna step down to any other stages like you've seen in other videos. We just want to clean them. I'm not trying to make them bright like, you know, cylinder or whatever. Look at that. Already ripped all that crap off. I know it's hard to see through the water, but all that brown and tore off coating and stains. Just a couple seconds. Let's continue. This whole thing will probably take a minute to get in those grooves. It's done. All right, give this a rinse so you guys can see. I turned the wiper off too, make it easier on you. So that is a completed exhaust valve there, or exhaust valve component. Beautiful. Now this thing is raw steel. We got to get it out of there. Let's compare it to his buddy here real quick. I'll open the door. I got to get this thing dried off and out of this wet environment quickly. All right. Let's see. Good one, yucky one. So, big difference there. You guys can see all the dirt and grime, or corrosion rather, and like the marring of that metal. Very different. This entire system's gonna look like that when we are done, and it's gonna be maybe even better than new, so I gotta get this thing dried off before it rusts. This may be one of the caveats to vapor blasting steel, is that you don't want to let them sit inside the cabinet and rot. You want to get them out right away. You can even throw these in some oil. All right, let's get you reunited with the rest of your disgusting family over here. So there's a finished product against everything else as well. Just comes out amazing. Love it so much. The water and the air also helps get any blast media out of it. That will, of course, be gone over again. Any nooks and crannies before final assembly. But I'm going to do the exact same thing to all these pieces. Let's go ahead and do the other push rod, and then I'm going to go ahead and throw you guys on the hyperlapse and burn through all this stuff. And yes, I will do this for you. People send cases, brakes, exhaust valves, cylinders, all kinds of stuff here all the time. Everything from little parts all the way up to full-blown frame-up customer builds. Happy to help you guys, always. There's that spot we looked at a second ago. It looked like pitting. It's gone. Seconds. Some small parts are a pain in the butt to hang on to, like a little spring. There's a couple spacers that are going to be tough also. You can always throw a zip tie through the centers of those and hold the end of the zip tie and just get after it with the media and the blasting. Another one of the awesome things about the vapor blasting is this stuff gets so clean that they get a really good look at everything. So if something's got a crack or a flaw, it's just at a point where you can really check everything out very thoroughly. Man, I freaking love the vapor blaster. Makes life so much easier, makes everything come out so much better, doesn't matter what it is. So I mentioned oil earlier. If I were doing this for one of you, for example, and you sent all this stuff in, all your parts would come back triple bagged and in oil so they wouldn't corrode on their way home, since this stuff kind of comes in from all over the country. Now I got to dive into all this crap. As you guys can see, it shouldn't take me too long. Maybe a half hour for all this stuff. I've also got to do this guy, the steel plate that holds the main valve, spring, and then aside from those pins, this is 100% of the system. Geez, that's ugly. Who wants this? I'll send it to you. A little souvenir. All right, there she is, the whole system right there. Guys, I also found those little dowels I was trying to talk to you about earlier. Found them in my dirty bin with some parts that needed to be cleaned, thankfully. And then some springs that also hold captive or are held captive on this rod here and help return the main flapper. At any rate, you guys can see this stuff is now fully decarboned, really clean. You can also tell the difference between what's new and old. So these come with that really nice coating on them. I can only assume this coating is some sort of friction reducing coating, and so therefore left it on here. I don't want to strip that all the way bald. We'll just go ahead and enjoy what's left of it for now. In all honesty, I would have gotten you a brand new one, except last time I bought one from CMSNL, which is a company in the Netherlands that buys overstock from all over the place. It was the last one they had. They don't make these anymore, and I think this is what we're stuck with, although not the end of the world. It's actually in pretty good shape for how freaking old it is. Got some old screws here, kind of some remnants of what was when we started this video today. Old junk. Just replace those. Those are just brand new OEM screws from Suzuki. Kind of expensive. They're probably a couple bucks a piece, which is totally unnecessary. You can get them at Ace Hardware. Just make sure they're metric and like kind. But all these cams, ready to go. No carbon anywhere. They still have, you know, a little bit of markings. They're 2004. They're super old. But otherwise, everything is ready to rock. Nice and clean. These are aluminum, so they just naturally look great after a vapor blast. This is steel. You can see the steel that's uncoated sort of has the best results. Everything is just looking good and ready to go again. So this stuff is about to have a whole new life. Back to those pins, you can see there's some longer and shorter. I think that's what happened, because there's no other explanation for or as to how that other sub valve got so gouged on the end there, the one that's going to be a souvenir. So pretty wild. I can't imagine it was working at all. So my next steps, I need to mask the bore. I like to run some duct tape in there just to make sure the bore isn't getting hit by the glass bead in the vapor blasting cabinet. It could probably stand up to it, but no reason to do that with a fresh cylinder. After I'm done vapor blasting that, I can go ahead and make sure it's free of any media, tap all the threads, get the studs in, and then I would be installing this. And like I said earlier, if you want to see each one of these pieces start to finish go in one after the other and see sort of how this whole thing functions and operates and moves, it's actually pretty cool how all these cams here and these grooves or tracks make these sub valves move. So I'll leave that video linked for you guys below. Other than that, I think it's time to close this one out. All right, guys, that's a wrap on today's video. I hope it was informative. I hope you found it useful. If there's anything I left out that you might want to know about, ask me below. If there's anything you think I could use, constructive criticism is always welcome. Of course, there are many other ways to clean your exhaust valve. That's just my favorite. I have the equipment. It's really easy on me. It gets into all the nooks and crannies. And at the end of the day, save for completely replacing some of the components like I had to do on the sub valve, everything looks just amazing and ready to use again. You guys aren't going to make me bust the calculator out again like I did on you last week, right? You're just going to go to mXrevival.com. Check it out. Get yourselves entered to win the RM250, the CR250, whatever bikes I build in the future past that, plus the coatings and the vapor blasting and this new giveaway. Oh shoot, I forgot to tell you what the new giveaway is. Ah, here it is. So the new giveaway, guys, my buddy Sean owns Stuck Nuts. It is a thread locker that is pretty much dedicated to the motorsports industry. This company was founded out of spite. Some of you guys know the story. It might be on their website, but I'd like you to check them out as well. Sean's gonna go ahead and allow me to give away not one or two, but 3 sets of his Stuck Nuts thread locker, the red and the blue. So that's going to be the giveaway for the month of May. Really random. He and I just hopped on a text today and it kind of came out of nowhere, and I was gonna do a tool up to $75, which I'll do in the future, but we got to talking about the Stuck Nuts, and this is perfect because it's so universal, kind of like a tool or vapor blasting or coatings. that literally any of you guys could utilize if you were to win it. So anyways, Sean, Stuck Nuts, thank you, dude. I've been using this stuff for a long time. You guys have been seeing it in the videos, building the engines and so on and so forth. We'll go ahead and get that out, like I said, to 3 lucky winners that are enrolled in the mXrevival monthly program. Now, upcoming for your RM250, one of the next big things to come back, obviously, is going to be suspension. So that's definitely going to be an episode. Weston and I are trying to do something really special for you on this vintage RM250 build, hoping dearly to pull it off. And so I cannot wait to share that with you guys. I know it's going to look good regardless of what happens. It's going to be top of the line RG3 factory stuff. Of course, I also need wheels. Still need to track down a set of hubs. It's only been a week. Then we'll go ahead and have WUSA lace all that stuff up for you guys. Send it back after some coatings at Dean's, of course. Anyways, guys, go ahead and check out mxrevival.com. Get yourself signed up. Check out all the links I left you to learn how to install the Rekluse clutch start to finish, to learn how to install the exhaust valve start to finish. Special thanks to everybody in today's video. Rekluse, Phathead Lukey, Stuck Nuts, Rocky Mountain ATV, they've been a huge part of this build as well. Uncle Dave at Bolt Motorcycle Hardware, and of course everyone else, past videos and future videos to come. Can't do this without my build team, and I especially can't do this without any of you guys. Thank you for being a part of it. Thank you for helping me keep the dream rolling. It's absolutely amazing that I get to do this for a living. It still blows my mind. Having said all that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate that so much. And until next time, guys, shred safe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Don't forget about TikTok either. I'm going to be closing your engine up over there.